Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a slightly different testing makeup video. You may have heard of Beauty Pie, and if you haven't, I'm going to show you what it is and do a little explanation. Basically, the other day I got this through my mailbox, and what Beauty Pie is, without going too in depth, is it's essentially a service where you can get high-end products for the factory price. So as you can see, they're all labeled with like Beauty Pie and stuff like that. They actually look very Bobbi Brown-esque. But for example, this foundation is supposed to be, from what I can see, judging by like the ingredients and stuff like that, the same as the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. And obviously, as you can see, it's not in the same packaging or anything like that, and it's not branded with Giorgio Armani, but it's supposed to be the same formulation. So what they do is they basically give you the same products without the brand name, without all the fancy packaging, and you pay less. So you only pay what it actually costs for them to make it, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I got sent this box the other day, and I also got sent this card here that gives me 3 months membership. Membership for this actually costs £10 a month, so that is something to bear in mind. You do have to actually spend £10 even if you don't buy anything, but I got 3 months for free, and I thought I would pick up a few bits myself so I can do like a almost full face of testing Beauty Pie makeup. So I got this through the mail today, so I've got 5 products. I actually have notes here because it does get a little bit complicated. So my total came to £99 worth of product. On the standard membership, you can only get £100 worth of product, which sounds like a lot, but when each thing costs about £20 retail, you can only get around, I think it's around 3 to 6 things on average, depending on what you pick up. So that's something to bear in mind as well. You can't just go and have membership for 1 month and pick up absolutely everything. It also costs £2.99 for delivery. It does take 2 days for delivery, so that's pretty good to be fair. And then you also get a £1.81 charge per order, so that's just one time you have to pay that each time you order. And then you have 42 pence per item on top of that. So I had to pay 42 pence 5 times for my 5 items. So if that makes any sense, then we'll move on. So anyway, enough of that rambling. I don't think I've ever had such a long intro for a testing makeup video before. I'm going to try out some Beauty Pie makeup. I'm going to let you know my thoughts. This is the finished look. And if you want to see how I created it and the products and my reviews, then please keep watching. Okay, so as you may be able to tell, I have my brows already on, and I also have a primer on. They do have their own primer. In fact, I think they may have 2. I don't have it, so I'm just going to go straight in with foundation. This one is the Great Skin Foundation, and it is in the shade Buff, so light 400, so it's like the 4th lightest one. And I think I'm just going to pop some of that onto the back of my hand. Okay, that's a pretty good colour match. Pretty decent coverage considering I'm just tapping my brush in. Like, I'm just putting that much on my brush. And it does seem to go quite a long way. I think I maybe want to go in with a tiny bit more because it is quite watery, so I feel like it doesn't really go that far, but then again it kind of does. That doesn't make any sense, but I feel like you do need a few pumps for a full face. It does build up nicely as well. So that foundation was, I have it all written down here, apparently this is worth £30 if you were to buy it as like the actual brand product. You can buy it for factory price for £4.75, so that is actually really, really good for a foundation. Next, I'm going to move on to concealer. This one is supposed to cost £18. I picked it up for £3 and 2 pence, very precise, and I've got mine in the shade Light, so it does look quite yellowy. So I'm just going to put that under my eyes here. It's not the most light concealer as such. Like, I think this is the second lightest shade. It's not overly pale, so if you are a lot more fair than me, this probably won't be ideal, but they do one lighter shade. I'm actually really impressed with this base so far, both the concealer and the foundation. And the fact that both of them on their own cost like £8 or something together, in fact less than that, that is pretty crazy considering my favourite foundation, the Milani 2-in-1 one, that's like £10 or £11, and that's my cheap like favourite foundation. Next, I'm going to move on to powder. This is meant to retail for £26. This actually costs £3.68. It's like a really, really finely milled powder. Like, it feels so finely milled. You guys aren't going to be able to see that at all. But it's so finely milled that when you rub your finger over it, it doesn't even feel like a powder. Like, it doesn't even feel like anything's coming off. It almost feels like a solid material, like plastic or something. I know that probably sounds a bit crazy, but this is super, super finely milled. I don't know how mattifying it's going to be. but we shall see. I'm going to go under my eyes with that. I'm just using the Zoeva Luxe Face Focus brush. So I feel like this powder won't be good if you have very oily skin. If you want something to really mattify, then you won't like it. But it's not doing anything crazy, but just judging by how it's kind of placing on the foundation, it's not looking like a powder on my skin, which you guys know I really like. And it's just kind of getting rid of the excess shine where I don't want it. Say for example, just on the bridge of my nose there, it's just taken away the majority of the shine. That spot is creeping back. Yeah, pretty happy with this powder. Like I said, not good for mattifying, but we don't like mattifying here on this channel. Okay, so now we'll move on to bronzers and blushes. Again, they do have them. I don't have them just yet because obviously I got the first kit and then I could only order a certain amount of products, but they are next on my list, so I'll keep you guys posted. So I'm just going to quickly bronze up my face using the Lottie London Tan Time. I'm just going to do my usual thing. Bronze this up, add a little bit of definition to the contours of my cheeks, and then I'm going to chuck on the NYX blusher in the shade Amber. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that real quick and get back to you guys in a second. Okay, so yeah, pretty happy with that bronzing situation. I'm actually going to go in my crease with this as well quickly, because again, I don't have any eyeshadows. I don't know if they have eyeshadows just yet, but I know they are going to come out with them at some point in the near future. So I'm just going to quickly go in my crease with the same bronzer just to add a little bit of definition. So next up is the moment we've pretty much all been waiting for. This is their Pro Glow highlighter. Looks pretty insane. This is supposed to retail for £30. I picked it up for £5.46, and I did a little check on the ingredients. I think it's supposed to be a dupe for Laura Geller, which you all know is my favourite highlighter. This obviously isn't Gilded Honey, but I know they do a few other different shades, so I'm thinking it's maybe one of those. If it's the same formulation, then I'm going to freak out. So I'm just going to take my fan brush. Actually, I'll quickly show you guys the pigment. It is more of like a pinky highlighter, which I don't tend to like as much, but I'll take it. For £5, I will take it. Okay. Are you ready? Alright. Alright then. Yeah, I'll take that. It is more of like a pinky purpley sort of glow, but that's pretty crazy. So I'm just going to take some of that onto my Cupid's bow. Oh my god, blinding. That might even be too intense. I definitely think it's a little bit too dark for me because it is showing up quite pink. So I may have to beauty blend that down a little bit. Yeah, definitely too dark on my top lip. Let's just buff that down a little bit. I'm then going to go in with a little brush. Again, just pop that on the inner corner. That's pretty. Here's me saying, I think it's too dark. And then she goes and whacks it all over her face. It is definitely too dark for me. So I do need to blot it out a little bit. I can just see here. It does look like a nice blush topper though, so I can get away with it down here, but up here it's a little bit like, who are you trying to kid? This spot just does not want to go. He's just going to hang around for the rest of the day. You know what? He can stay. He's worked hard enough. I'll give in. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with mascara. This one is the Uber Volume. I know they have a few different types. Let me just check my notes. This one is supposed to retail for £20. I picked it up for £1.93. Let's just check out the wand. So it looks a little something like this. It's kind of like a fibery sort of wand. And I'm just going to go straight in with it. So it's not giving me like instant wow. It's not bad by any means, especially for the fact that it costs £2 when you buy it like this. Then I'm pretty happy. Just gone and got it on my eyelid, for goodness sake. Looking at it, it's actually quite a pretty mascara. It's not anything that I would do for like an overly intense look, but because this look is quite natural, it does work quite well. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Again, not wowed for like the millionth time, but it's a pretty good mascara, and especially for £2, really good. So I just realised that I also picked up a wing liner. That's going to be a pain in the ass to do, but I am still going to use it. So this one is called the Moisture Lock. No, that's the lip liner. Wrong packet. This one is the Precision Eyeliner Marker, and this is supposed to retail for £16 and this costs £1.50. So that's like even cheaper than like Primark and stuff like that. That looks pretty good. That looks like the Kat Von D. And that is very, very black. So feeling hopeful about this. Not sure how it's going to work now that I've got my mascara on. But we're going to wing it. See what I did there? I'm sorry. I'm just going to quickly take off that mistake there with the mascara. And let's see how we go. I haven't done this in ages. So far so good. That looks okay. Need to fill it in a little bit, but that was easy. Oh my god, that's like Kat Von D tattoo liner easy. Maybe it's meant to be a dupe of that. I will look that up for you, but yes. Okay, so these two wings are barely even related, let alone sisters, let alone twins, but I'm gonna leave it like that. I am very, very impressed with this liner. £1.50, I am so stocking up on this bad boy. Okay, so next we're gonna move on to lips. I have a lip liner here. This one is in the shade, if I can find it. Don't even think I can find the shade. Oh, Foxy. This retails for £15. You can pick it up for £1.47. And obviously I picked up just like a nudie shade, just like that. Pretty nice, pretty creamy. So I'm just gonna overline my lips with this for a second. Very, very creamy. That is like the easiest lip liner ever. I don't know about you guys, but from where I'm sitting, that is like full on Kylie Jenner lip liner. So yeah, really, really happy with this lip liner. They were super creamy. I've actually got quite dry lips right now and they went on like a dream. My lips don't feel dry whatsoever. They don't feel like my lips are gonna move around or anything like that. Really, really happy with that. And the color is just stunning. So that one was in the shade Foxy. Then I actually have two lipsticks. The first one is in the shade Cowboy Nude. So this is the one that I actually got from the first box. Don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see that there. So it's kind of like a good match for the colour that I just put on my lips then. I think, don't quote me on it, but I think these are meant to be Charlotte Tilbury. Just from what I can see online, I think they're meant to be Charlotte Tilbury. So those retail for, let me see, £20 and you can pick them up for £2.24, so amazingly cheap. The other colour that I picked up was Hush Now. It's also a matte and it's more of like a lighter nude. So just put them next to each other there so you can see. I think I'm going to go in with a lighter one just so we can see how it maybe gives me like an ombre lip effect, that sort of thing. They have like a sweet vanilla scent to them. Again, this doesn't feel drying at all. It does actually feel pretty similar to my Charlotte Tilbury ones in the fact that they're not like the most epic payoff ever, but they do give you a really nice colour. Like if you do a couple of swipes then you get like a nice colour payoff, and they're not matte in a sense like a liquid lipstick is matte. They're just kind of like a more creamy matte formulation. Yeah, this is actually a really nice shade. I'm now going to do something that I never normally do. In fact, I don't think I've really done it on my channel for over a year. Maybe ever. This is a lip gloss. This one retails for £19, but you can get it for £2.16. This one is in the shade Hello Petal, and I've heard people say that these are really, really good glosses. Okay, they smell vanilla, like the lipsticks. Actually put that on. Okay, we're changing the lip colour, I guess. I don't tend to like glosses, but I don't mind this. Okay, so yeah. The gloss feels really nice, doesn't feel sticky at all. Like, it's not, it kind of feels more like a balm than a gloss. It's not sticky, it's not, you know, when you put your lips together with some glosses and they just goop off your lips. This isn't doing that. Yeah, I think as far as lip glosses go, it's not going to be something that I wear because I don't really like lip glosses, but if you do, from what I can tell from some of the lip glosses that I've tried, this is a pretty decent one. Okay guys, so this is the finished look, and I think it's safe to say that I am pretty impressed with Beauty Pie. The liner, insane. The highlighter is incredibly insane, although it is too dark for me. Really, like, so impressed with the foundation. This may fall into like my everyday sort of foundation, so if that doesn't tell you how good it is, I don't know what will. Concealer was good for all over the face. Did not want to cover up that guy, so I'm just leaving him here as proof that it's maybe not the most full coverage concealer in the world, but as far as everything else goes, covered my dark circles underneath, covered any like pigmentation, stuff like that, so it does cover, it just doesn't cover these guys. So yeah, this is the finished look, just something super natural. Like I said, they don't have like their full range out yet, it's kind of like the basics, and I think they're going to be building up into different shades and stuff like that. But I'm pretty happy with this look overall. I really like the wing liner, really like the lip. Preferred it before the gloss, but I do still like it. But yeah, I am super impressed, and obviously I didn't pay for the first box, but considering the second box I picked up 5 items that had like a worth of like £99, I got it for £13.69 and it was £20.96 including shipping and stuff like that, so I don't think that is half bad for 5 products, especially ones like the highlighter, the liner, the lip liner. Pretty good going for £20. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and if you'll be trying out Beauty Pie. I will leave a link to them down below, and obviously if you do want to see the blog post or anything like that and you do want to read out a little bit more, I'll leave a link to that down below as well, including all the links to these products. As always, please give this video a big thumbs up if you did like it, and subscribe if you do want to see more of me. I'm posting every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays. But apart from that, that's it from me. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!